Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Astrology Today. I am Mel Rose, and I am here to share your daily aspects. Today is Friday, February 25, 2022, and the sun is in Pisces this morning, as are Pisces co-ruling planets, Jupiter and Neptune. Not all signs have two planet rulers. Pisces does, and a couple of others do, and that's because there were originally we only knew the planets out to Saturn, and after that we had to discover them and add them on. So traditionally, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, which is uh, the planet that represents positive expansion, growth, good fortune, and like travel abroad, experiences that expand our notion of what it's like to be human. And Neptune is our planet for humanity and spirit. It's sort of if you look at our relationship to the human collective and spirituality close enough, they begin to merge a little bit, because spirituality, really, when we engage in this sense of a higher power, it is for the sake of being able to interact with our fellow human beings and sort of understand what we're going through and what they're going through as well. And the sun, is right there with these planets in Pisces, putting a spotlight on these themes of expansion, of our relationship to humanity and to spirit, of creativity, of rest. This is really a time to feel the inspiration as it's flowing in, and create space for it within, so that we can then express it in a creative way. And the moon is in Sagittarius this morning, making ingress to Capricorn around 10:30. The moon made its last aspect in Sagittarius last night around 9:30 at night, so it's really been void of course up until now. I'm going to say void of course. So this was overnight a good time to really dive into those intuitive practices, and it might be interesting to look back on what you might have dreamed as well. And the waning crescent nature of this moon right now is inviting us to release, to let things go, to push out what is no longer useful, or what is no longer serving us, as we really try to clear our slate, our creative slate, so to speak, so that with the new moon we can have a fresh space from which to start our creative cycle over again. And I'm going to go ahead and get right into the aspects. I just want to remind you, there's a legend on the side. It contains all of the symbols that you see on the page today. I will discuss all of those symbols as we go along. So I've divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our inner lives, and it has more to do, its transits and aspects have more to do with what it feels like to be in our bodies, in our homes, and also all those things we think, feel, know, and intuit. It's really about your private life, your personal life, the stuff that is not necessarily expressed in the outer world. The sun represents our outer life, and the aspects it makes take longer. The aspects the sun and the other planets make, they take longer, and they have more to do with how we come to engage in our work, social, and civic spheres, who we are when we go outside, and the part of us that interfaces with the public. And we'll start with the moon today, Central Standard Time, friends. 10:27 a.m. The moon makes ingress to Capricorn. And this really brings our focus into the work that we have to do. Capricorn is your cardinal earth. It has a lot of initiative toward building material abundance for yourself. So material abundance, that has to do with your wealth. It has to do with the actual things that you're trying to build. If it's like a company or a house, or a mad scientist's lab, and it also has to do with your personal health, your body's well-being. So the work that we have to do, that's the focus that this brings us into in our personal life on the inside. And the guidance I got when I was reflecting on this was to really seek a middle path, okay? Because in Capricorn, sometimes we think, gosh, I have work to do. I don't have time to take a break. So, work and then take a break, get some rest, and then work some more. We've got to sort of stay in the middle and not go to one extreme or the other. And that's all that's happening on the lunar side of the page today. So, releasing, and we have work to do doing that. So just remember to take a break from time to time while you're working to push the things that no longer work for you out of your life. Okay, and then on the sun side of the page in the ongoing column, I'm going to start here with Venus conjunct Mars. We've been dealing with this for a week or two now, and it's going to be with us again, like I said, through the spring equinox, which is coming up in middle of March. Venus is our planet for receptivity. It's about how we relate to those people and things that we value the most, that we like, love, and can't get enough of. It's about want, desire, attractiveness, pulling power. And Mars is our personal planet for initiative. So it's that passion that we feel, the fire in our gut that makes us take action, that causes us to move forward, to be assertive, even aggressive. Mars can have an irritable or impatient feel about it, but it's really just about moving, about taking action toward reaching your goals, getting what you want. Venus and Mars are both in Capricorn today as well, have been for a while. And so again, this is about the work we have to do. And, this conjunct tends to amplify the effects of both planets. So that receptiveness and that assertiveness are both amplified. And, our pulling power is amplified and our pushing power is amplified as well. So we're very powerful at this time, especially in our partnerships. And that can point to our romantic partnerships, but it also points to our workplace partnerships, our partnerships out in the social, civic, and work spheres. So, maintain patience and focus toward reaching those partnership goals is the guidance I received when I was reflecting on this. When we're working with a partner toward a specific goal, things can get frustrating. It's not always easy. And, it's not like you can just go and do things the way you would want to do them without conferring with this other person. If it's a goal you're working on with another person, then they've got to be part of the decision-making process too. There isn't a lot of, space for individualism during the Venus conjunct Mars. So, like I said, maintain patience and focus. And focus on those partnership goals. But we are in luck because also through the 20th of March, we've got Jupiter in this sextile position with Uranus. And, Jupiter is, like I said, that planet for growth, positive expansion, good fortune, and really just experiences that expand our idea of what can be, what we can have in our lives, what we can do with ourselves, and what we can do in our partnerships as well. And especially since Jupiter is sitting here in Pisces, this is about expanded creativity, expanded creative power. It's a very fertile time, and I think that's worth mentioning. If you're not trying to make babies, if you're trying to make something else besides babies, make sure you're careful about where you're planting your seeds. But, what it is Jupiter brings us these expanded possibilities for creativity, expanded flow of inspiration coming from Neptune. And then we've got this planet here. Uranus is about the changes that we need to make. What it does is it sort of shakes things up, and it awakens us to shifts and changes that we can and sometimes have to make in order to keep moving forward in the direction of our dreams and goals. Sextile here is very cooperative, positive, generative aspect. So your good fortune is cooperating with your urge, your awakening to the changes that you need to make. And sometimes that awakening happens very quickly. Sometimes it's almost, it's like a flash of intuition. You're like, oh, I got to change the way I'm doing this. And, we adapt at this time with ease to the new possibilities and opportunities. We keep our eyes open and we keep our ears open. We keep our hearts open. We have space for this intuitive, creative flow to come in so that our opportunities are expanded. So that's great news, especially working together with Venus and Mars here. And then we have these two side by side. I think this is day 3 of 4 for Mars sextile Neptune, and day 2 of 4 for Venus sextile Neptune. And this is, both like our receptive quality and our assertive quality are in this positive vibration that is there to help us generate good things with our relationship to the human collective and with spirit. So, we're very much, our receptive nature and our assertive nature are both in this cooperative way with other people. This can be a good time if you are not in a partnership to be forming a partnership, to be considering somebody for partnership. And again, I'm not just saying romantically, I'm also saying like in your work, social, and civic lives. All sorts of partnerships are available to us. And this is the time where we want to invest some time in our friendships and community. Okay, so it's not just about ourselves, and it's not just you and me in this partnership, but it's the people around us in our community, because they're very much part of the relationships that we're in. They're very much part of our partnerships. And let's see. Also, we're on day 2 of 2 for Mercury square Uranus. So again, Uranus is that planet that brings about the shakeups that awaken us to the shifts and changes we can make to make things go better for us. And Mercury is about our thoughts, plans, and communication, our intellect, our day-to-day running around that we do, but especially just the communication that's involved there. So right now, this square aspect really represents a challenge coming up, possibly with our ability to communicate and plan. But, we just came out of Mercury retrograde, so probably not as difficult as it would be during Mercury retrograde. Maybe just some little challenges or hiccups coming up in our ability to plan, because these shakeups are happening and we're noticing changes that need to be made even as we're trying to communicate our plans, right? It can also just be an opportunity to talk about what we are challenged with in terms of the shifts and changes that we're trying to make. So be brave. Discuss your challenges with these changes with somebody you trust, like a partner or, somebody in your friendship community. And then today on the sun side of the page, 11:10 p.m., the sun goes sextile to the moon. This really refers to the phase of the moon. We're about halfway from that third quarter moon to the new moon now. So that just sort of is this this shows us the culmination point of that phase of the moon. And then, what it speaks to symbolically is that our inner and outer lives are in cooperation. So the part of me that faces outward and deals with everybody out in the world is in a cooperative vibration with the part of me that's on the inside. And those parts that seek expression are really aligned and available for us to generate good outcomes. So there's that. Wednesday, we will have a new moon in Pisces. So that will be a very, that's a great time to have a new moon with the moon in Pisces, because it's a very, again, creative vibration. And, that's the time when we really start to think and plan and create and set intentions. So, and right now we've got this really expanded flow of creativity coming in. So I have a feeling that we'll be making some great big plans right here with the Pisces new moon. Also on Wednesday, we will have Mercury in conjunct with Saturn. And that's going to be about our thoughts, plans, and communications in an amplified position with this planet that applies to those Capricorn worker mode, structure, and stability themes. Then coming up on Thursday, both Mars and Venus are going to make a conjunct with Pluto. So these are conjunct, these qualities are amplified, and then Pluto is going to come in and conjunct with both of them too. So not only are these qualities amplified, Pluto's quality of transformative energy is coming in and being amplified as well. So don't be surprised if you notice some transformative changes coming around the bend starting this Thursday. And then on Saturday of next week, the sun is going to make a conjunct with Jupiter. Look at all this conjunct energy. What this tells me is that there's so much intensity going on as we do this cooperative work, as we make these collaborations to expand our creativity and expand our experience as well. So there'll be a conjunct there with Jupiter, so it's really going to shine a light on this Jupiter sextile Uranus, where we're open to expanded possibilities. It's going to shine a light on this Jupiter in Pisces, where it's our creativity that's expanding, and also that day Jupiter is going to reach its aphelion, so it's going to be at its farthest point from the sun, which means that its effects might be a little delayed. And I can't wait to talk to you more about that. There's more going on next week, but that was about all I could get on the page today. So that's it for today's aspects. Please, if you have any thoughts or comments, if anything comes up for you while you're looking at this, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys, and I love to respond. And thank you for being here. I'm going to move on to Tarot in a second, but I just want to say, if you've made it this far, 16 minutes in, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like my video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can see this again tomorrow. I post these every day. So now I'm going to talk Tarot, and first we're going to talk about the card that's sitting on the side of the page. This card represents the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Pisces, and it is the Eight of Cups, and there's an air of abandonment to this card, an air of sort of disappointment. You see the sort of sad face on the moon, and then this person has turned their back. They've got their cloak on and their walking stick, and they're moving the heck on. Okay, so there's been an investment here of time and emotion and creativity, and when we made the investment, we thought it was going to be the everything that we were looking for, and we found out when we got there that it was not the everything that we were looking for. There was some disappointment, and so we had the strength, okay, after making all of that emotional and creative investment, we had the emotional strength to say, this is not what I need, and walk away from it. And in the context of this Venus conjunct Mars business that is going on, I'm just going to say it's a-okay, and you have abundant creative and emotional resources. So it's a-okay to walk away from something that you made that doesn't satisfy. But don't forget to communicate with your partners about it. Okay, because even if it's something that you worked on all alone by yourself, if somebody cares about you and they see you walking away from something that you put a lot of yourself into, they're going to be concerned about you, and it's worth having a conversation with somebody so they don't really have to worry as much about you. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw a card for today. I'm gonna sort of continue to mix up these cards while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Pisces, Neptune and Jupiter are also in Pisces, and this really represents an expanded influx of inspiration and spirituality and cooperation, and also represents an expanded creative capacity. So it's a very fertile time, and I just really feel the need to say that as many times as I think to. The moon is going to be in Capricorn pretty much all day, and it's a waning crescent moon, so we're letting go of things. We have work to do to let go of the things that no longer serve us, so that we can start our new creative cycle in a few days on Wednesday, when we have the new moon in Pisces. And, in the ongoing column, we still have Venus conjunct Mars and Jupiter sextile Uranus, and taken together, that's, working on our partnership goals. And that's work, love, life, guys. It's not just your love life, but it's your work life, your social, civics, work spheres, your family life. We're working on those partnership goals, and we have a lot of good fortune at play, especially when it comes to making positive changes. Okay, so take those together and see what you can do with them. And we've got Mars and Venus conjunct making sextile with Neptune, which again, our connection to humanity, our spirituality, where we stand in the flow of the human spirit. So it's a good time to invest some. We're pretty powerful in our dual ways, our duality ways. So it's a good time to spend some time with our friends and in our community, reaching out to people, and embodying that human spirit, being in it. Mercury square Uranus says we might have a little bit of trouble discussing the challenges that are coming up, but it might be worthwhile to try to do that with somebody that you trust. And Sun sextile Moon says that we're in alignment to solve problems for ourselves, outer life and inner life. So that's all, to me, pretty positive news. Looks like a good day this Friday. I'm going to go ahead and turn this card. Oh, we got the Eight of Cups again. Okay, guys, I swear I shuffle these cards all the time, but we did have the Eight of Cups, I think, last week at some point. And so that's 2 Eights of Cups. So just, again, there might be some disappointment in the air about some investment that we made, something we really put our heart and our creativity into. But it occurs to me, especially with this expanded flow of inspiration coming into our lives, that maybe we got to this Eight of Cups and we just said, it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not enough to hold all of this inspiration, all of this creative capacity that I'm feeling right now. Like, I put myself into this, and, it came to like a sort of a skidding halt, and there just wasn't enough space here for me to create my masterpiece. There weren't enough cups. There weren't enough like leaders available for me to pour out all my inspiration and creativity. So I've got to rework my approach. Okay, I really characterize this period of time, Neptune and Jupiter both being in Pisces while the Sun is in Pisces. I mean, come on. I really characterize it as a time when we're working on our masterpieces. And, you can take that from an artistic perspective, or you can take that from a perspective of, my masterpiece is the life that I'm living, right? I've got this one life. I've got this one chance, right? So, and really we have many chances, but it's one lifetime. It's one, contiguous set of experiences. What do you want to do with it? How are you going to make this life your masterpiece? And, if you find yourself in a space where there's not enough room, there's not enough, holding capacity for you to take in your inspiration and push it out as creation, then you need to seek out a bigger space. You need to seek out bigger holding capacity, a larger vessel into which to pour your inspiration and your creative capacity. I think that's what I have to say about that today. Friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your presence every day, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today with Melrose.